Hello, hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's Teresa from the Business Advisory Centre Durham, and I'm going to be talking with Cheryl Wilson about the Makers Hub and how they've been able to pivot and hopefully find opportunities during the COVID-19 pandemic. Stay tuned for more information. I'm so happy to be speaking with Cheryl Wilson, the owner of the Makers Hub today. We're going to talk about her business, COVID, pandemic, and reopening or pivoting, and all those sorts of topics. So stay tuned.
So glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for being with me today. So tell me about the Makers Hub. How have you been? How's it been going? I remember being at your grand opening 2 years ago.
I know. I think we're 3 years ago now. Time's flying, right? That was, I guess, 2 years ago, 2018. We opened 2017. We had our grand opening in the new year. So yeah, it's been wild the last few months, you know. There's just so much upheaval and so much change and uncertainty. So hanging in, that would be the best term for how it's been going. I'm hanging in there, you know. It's going up.
You tell us like your business model, right? Because I think that will give people an idea of what it is you do at the Makers Hub. So go ahead, tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the Makers Hub, we opened in 2017. And I was a maker. I ran a handmade business for almost 4 years, 3 years before that. And it was just, I'm a solution finder. And I just found as a business operating from home, there's just gaps in services. And one of the main ones being operating online and not having a storefront was how to get my products directly to the customer. And you know, there's not a lot of solutions outside of shipping that are out there. So my bright idea was to have a one-stop sort of pickup spot for online businesses that are local, so they can operate online, and then they don't have to offer their front porch for their customers to come and pick up. They can have privacy and security, and the customers get a great customer experience. They're not just rummaging through, you know, a bunch of packages on a front porch trying to find one with their name. So that was really what started the business. And it's grown since then. We provide a few other services. We have an online platform to help support businesses getting online. So it's a multi-vendor platform, and we sell through that, and all the pickups are done at the hub. And we do markets and all sorts of fun stuff, but it's all geared around local and supporting businesses and all that goodness. But yeah, the pickups were definitely where it all started.
Right, very cool. And I know since then we've talked many times about pivoting and you know, adopting new revenue streams and figuring out new product delivery or service models. So I know you've had a lot of that in the works. Tell me, did the pandemic or COVID affect your business?
Oh my gosh, yes. Very much so. It's we shut down before we were mandated to do so, and so we were closed for a full month with no activity, no business. And during that month, it was a lot of soul searching and what's going on and where are we going, and just watching and listening and trying to figure out where we fit. And in the back of my mind, I kept saying, now more than ever, our pickup service is essential. Businesses are moving online to pivot and to accommodate these changes, and to provide safe business and products and all of that. And we had the service in place already to be able to support that. So I was really eager to get back to it and open up that service. But it's so scary, right? Because there's fees and there's fines and there's the judgment out there, and it's a very difficult time to maneuver and make business decisions. But I knew in my heart and mind that more than ever before, our pickup system needed to reopen to be able to support businesses during this time. So it definitely affected us. A lot of businesses right now that we work with are closed due to uncertainty and fear, and not sure if they should be open because they're not essential. We also have a lot of businesses who are working at a bare minimum because they're juggling teaching and childcare, so they're not able to actually focus on their business. And then, you know, of course, we've got businesses who can't get their products, their materials from their suppliers.
Right.
So they're either shut down or working at minimal capacity. So working directly with so many, being like a B2B business model, we're just seeing all sorts of impacts from this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a tough time, I think, for people's mental health too. And I think just for their state of being, right? There is a
Yeah.
lot of judgment. There's a lot of judgment around, oh, you shouldn't be operating, or you should be closed, and you shouldn't be charging because, you know, you're taking money from people. And like, it's a hard time for businesses to navigate. So I certainly understand that from your perspective, right? At the same time, I think, you know, stand strong in your conviction of what you're offering to the people that you're solving a problem for, because I think that is really important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard to do. I've consulted so many businesses through this, and people are just so conflicted. And I think people are afraid to ask for money for whatever it is that they're providing, whether it's a product or a service. And it's just very difficult. And I just keep reassuring people, like, you know the value, and there's going to be somebody out there who sees that value and is willing to pay for that. And, you know, I guess it comes down to, I've said this a couple times to people, if you're not charging, you may as well not be in business. Go and enjoy something else, right? Like, we're not here to work for free. Our time is valuable too. And I think that's something that people have to remember and keep in mind, that they are bringing value to the table. They are offering something, and they're, you know, there's an exchange.
That's it.
And yeah, so people need to be strong in their value, and they have to be confident in that to be able to ask.
You need to stand strong, right? And
Yeah.
understand your value, as you just mentioned, and that you are doing an energy exchange of value in exchange for money, which is also energy.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I see that as a really important thing for sure. Tell me, have you been able to find a few opportunities during this time to do something with your business?
Absolutely. I am an opportunity kind of gal, so I tend to dig right in. So we host regular pop-up markets at the Makers Hub, and they're in-person markets, and obviously those are shut down, and we have no idea when they're going to resume at this point, and nor do we know if, once we're allowed to resume, if people are going to actually show up, right?
Right.
So, you know, rather than trying to analyze the unknown, I jumped in and kind of looked at, okay, well, what do we have? What can we do? Where do the opportunities lie? And I decided to take my markets online, because that's where people are right now. That's where people are hanging out. That's how we can connect with each other.
Yeah.
And that's how we can keep our businesses going safely during this time. So we pivoted. I pivoted. I was scared. I was unsure. I've never done it before, but that's what us entrepreneurs, that's where we live, isn't it?
In that place of unsureness, yes. And holy crap, am I going to be able to do this? Yes, you are.
Yeah. But you know, you put one foot in front of the other and you start. I think that's the main thing, is you start. And so we did our first online market in May, and it was so well received, and it was awesome. And our next market is actually this coming weekend. And so we're really excited about that. The group is.
Tell me how it works, because I couldn't understand actually how to get on and order, and it seemed like you had it all timed, and I felt like I wasn't sure when to do what. So maybe you can explain for me and for those who are watching.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great feedback too, right? Because we're learning how to present it as well. So that's really good information for me. So the way that it works is a Facebook group. Most of us are members of groups, so you have to join. And then we do a vendor call like normal, but the way that the actual market rolls out is we open on a Friday night and runs all weekend long until the Sunday. And it's live in the fact that the makers are at home connected through social media. And there's an album that will pop up. So for example, right now we're just doing sneak peeks and previews and little snapshots and that of what to expect. But once the album is uploaded, think of the album as like your vendor booths at a show. Okay. So each maker is going to have so many listings that they can actually put into the album. There'll be a full description of that, how much it is, how to purchase it, and all that kind of good stuff. And then once it goes live on, I haven't actually shared this. I like I shared it, but just to do it in an interview format. So I'm stumbling over my words, which feels funny. So bear with me. But once the album goes live, you can then comment on the pictures. So if you see something, so for example, there's a bar of soap that you want to purchase, you write in the comments sold, and you can consider that like you're lining up in a store.
Okay.
And then that way the vendor knows, hey, I've got an interested buyer, and they're going to connect with you and say, thank you so much, here's how you purchase. So there's different ways to purchase. Some of the makers have websites, so they're going to give you direct links to go to their website or their Etsy shop if that's how they normally conduct business. Some do not, so they'll just be directing you for an e-transfer, and they'll connect with you through their Facebook page. And the makers actually, one of the cool things is as things sell out, or maybe something's not doing so well, because they're at home, they have the ability to swap it out and put something fresh in, or to make more products so that they can do restocks. And it's so much fun, and you're interacting, and you got to get in the group. You got to see it this weekend. You're just gonna be like, wow, it comes to life. There's such a buzz.
I heard. So how many people attended? Do you know?
So last market we had just shy of 2,000.
Wow.
All of the pickups are through the Makers Hub. Some do do shipping as well. So, but I can tell you, we had just shy of 2,000 members, and we did all the pickups, local pickups at the hub, and we had almost 500 pickups from the last market.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So it went really, and I mean, that was the first kick of the can, right? So
Honestly,
we're really
I know I would like it, because what happens to me is that at work, I'm out every night working.
Yep.
And so on the weekend, I don't want to be out doing.
Yeah.
So this is a great way for me to be able to, in the morning, like maybe coffee Saturday morning, is to scroll through and have a look at what things I can buy. Right?
It's pretty cool, actually, and that's where we were talking about seeing opportunity, and sometimes you can't see the opportunity until you're forced to. So we used to have a lot of people with our in-person markets saying that they couldn't come on Sundays, the hours weren't long enough, or they had other commitments, say they had church or family obligations, or they had to work on Sundays. So we just kind of were like, well, we can't serve everybody, right? But now with these markets, we can serve, we can reach more people, we can get those people who can't get out of their homes or have other commitments. And it really has opened up an entire new marketplace for us. And because the businesses, I say this to the businesses, you're able to grow your businesses online more, because people are going to be able to connect easily now with your websites, with your social media. When you're in person, you can say, yes, we've got Facebook, but now you're relying on that person going home and remembering when they sign into Facebook next time to get over to your page and like it. So it's just that instant connection online, and then it helps with your customer retention outside of the market as well. So there's some really great opportunities for these businesses to grow their customer base, right?
That's very cool. So there's lots of opportunity there, right? Do you have other things in mind too as time goes, or what?
Yeah, I've been playing around with a few different ideas. One of them is to introduce wholesale pricing with our pickups. I'd really like to be able to help out our brick and mortar friends who are now struggling to offer curbside pickups, or a lot of them are doing delivery. And I'm a firm believer that you need to be, as business owners and entrepreneurs, we need to be working on our business more than we're working in our business. And I just see so many of these business owners, they are working their tails off and doing everything that they can to try to make it work right now. And a big chunk of their time and efforts are being taken up in these curbside pickups, organizing them, or doing deliveries. And we have a really great service that would take care of all of that for them. So I've been playing around and trying to come up with some wholesale pricing so that our retailers who have high volume would be able to still see the value in our service and use our services. So that's another way that we're looking at trying to help out and extend outside of the handmade community, and just grow that way as well.
That makes sense. I think a lot of businesses are struggling with it. I was making face masks for a little while, and I noticed that the place I was going to go buy fabric, and I mean, I could barely buy any, but when she could, she would have like a curbside pickup once a week, and there's 500 packages, and she's got to look through what's my package,
Yep.
right?
It's a lot. It's a lot of organizing. And I think that as business owners, and I do this myself, we just take it on, right? This is what I have to do to succeed, or this is what I have to do to run my business. And it's so time consuming, and there's so much organization that goes into doing that, right?
Right.
Where we have a system that they can just step in, it's in place. It's been around for years now. We know what we're doing. And we take good care of our customers. So,
Yes,
it's something I really truly believe in.
What would you say to the businesses or, people that are watching this video? What word of advice would you give them for their business at this time?
That's a big question.
Yes.
I think it's really important to, like I said, to work on your business and not in your business. I think that's really important. And also to try to remove yourself emotionally from your decisions. Okay. I see a lot of business owners right now who struggle when people are offering advice or coming to them for new opportunities. They're very stuck in what used to be and how their business used to run. And I think that there's opportunity when you see through a different lens and look at where we're going, right? To look ahead and how are you going to get there? And just being open-minded, right? And not being too
emotional. Makes good sense.
I don't know, my words didn't come out too fluently there. It wasn't very eloquent, but basically, don't be married to the past.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It makes sense. Definitely keep an open mind right now, because nobody knows what the future holds. And
That's
so
it.
we only can control today.
Yeah.
You can't control anything in the past, so just keep moving forward.
100%. And I think that's just it, is to be open-minded. The future's going to happen whether you embrace it or not. And so I think we all get to pick our ride, right?
We do. So that's a great point. Cheryl, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you meeting with me, and look forward to attending your market.
It's been a blast. We'll see you in the market, and thank you so much for inviting me. You guys have always been such a huge support of my business and so many other businesses, and huge shout out for everything that you guys are doing to support and continue that in these times too.
Thank you. We do feel like we are not doing enough. I'll be honest with you. It's like, I can't give you sales and I can't give you money. What can I give you?
You are doing more than enough. You show up daily. You are a constant, you're a constant resource and support system. And that is more than sales will ever give to a business.
Oh, that's nice to hear. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.